Hola amigotes, volvemos con Alan Wake's American Nightmare,
Okay, I'm gonna take care of this. Try to
¿vale?
stay calm.
Look, what if you stay here with me, please?
I'm sorry,
No
but
recuerdo
if I
yo
don't
si
deal with
esto
this, no one
lo
else
vimos en
will.
el anterior vídeo, pero bueno.
Yeah, I guess.
De momento
It's just that
sigue
this is
generando
getting really
algo de
creepy.
interés esta
I
serie,
believe
así
this
que de
is
momento
real,
voy a
but I don't
seguir
understand
grabándolo
and
mientras lo juego.
I'm getting scared. I can't
No
believe
sé
you're so
cuánto
calm.
quedará, en principio
I'm
es
scared.
una expansión más o
A lot
menos
of time to
corta.
get used to it. That helps. The guy who looks like me is the reason this is happening. I caught up with him, but he swept me back here.
Back in time.
Yeah, it's a trap. We'll be doing this forever unless I can break out of it.
How are you gonna do that?
I'm working on it. I came prepared, but things got kind of scrambled when I arrived. I'm tracking down the things I need.
Yeah, well, feel free to climb back into your DeLorean or whatever it is you do.
Bueno, pues ya está, ¿no? Pues nos vamos al campo petrolífero. Bueno, ¿qué está pasando? Ah, vale. ¡Hala! Uno menos. Bueno, uno menos, no sé, debe ser a lo mejor todo el rato el mismo, ¿o no? No, mira, ahí queda. El cacho guarro. Vale, ya está. Muerto, matado. Me estoy escuchando por ahí más. Mira. Todos esos pajarracos. Vale. Eliminar enemigos. O sea, anda, mira, me lo ha cargado de una. Une la escena con la página del manuscrito.
Better get ready to run.
La rueda estaba en su sitio, el petróleo fluía, la batería estaba conectada, las luces parpadeaban, el CD sonaba en el reproductor. Es que la cuestión... Es que esto es exactamente lo mismo que ya hicimos la otra vez, ¿verdad? ¿No? A ver... Y lo último... Esto, ¿no? Es que exactamente lo mismo. Pues nada. Ahora vuelves. Le he metido una granada en toda la boca, ¿eh?
We'll be in trouble. Better hurry.
Era exactamente igual que la otra vez. Imagino que me encontraré a la tía rodeada de monstruitos.
Emma, I'm coming.
vuelve a suceder. ¿Qué es eso? Es que se lo está repitiendo. Coño, he intentado... ¡A la mierda! Está, espérate, vamos a recoger aquí... Hostia. A ver. ¡Coño! Puto cherry de mierda.
Okay, it's safe now.
¿Y ahora que me va a volver a decir? ¿Que vaya al bar?
I got a really bad feeling about all of this.
I'm gonna need those keys to the diner now. There's a motel key there that I have to get.
Oh, hey, you don't have to do that. I have the motel master key. I work for the same company, you know. What's at the motel?
Well, there's a dead guy. He's got something I need to get into the Mount Redtooth Observatory.
God, that's awful. Hey, you wanted to know about the guy who looked like you, didn't you?
The last time you said he had a party, but you didn't go.
No, that's not true. I did go. It was really great at first, and then I didn't see it myself, but I hear he turned nasty. He hurt a bunch of guys pretty bad, and there was this girl, she died. But I didn't hear about that until afterwards. I thought that he was so charming.
And then he went to the diner.
That's right. I wasn't involved with that at all. I don't know what happened.
Fine. I need to check out these motel rooms. In the meantime, you stay here, okay? I'm serious. Keep the lights on and stay here.
Yeah, okay. You got it. I sure hope you're right about this.
You're gonna stay here this time, right?
Because the last time I didn't, and that thing, whatever it is, happened to me.
Yeah. I don't want you to get hurt again.
Don't worry, I'm gonna stay put. I don't remember what happened exactly, but I learned my lesson.
Good. It doesn't have to happen exactly the same way this time around. You proved that much when you went out and got those things for me. I think you're gonna be okay.
Let's hope you're right.
Bueno, pues nada.
The memory of her own fate haunts Emma Sloan and fills her with dread. This time, she does as she's told. It's not enough to save her.
Pues nada, pues ha muerto. La otra vez no vinimos aquí. De hecho, mirad. Los amigos de Wake.
Alice and Barry, my wife and my best friend, are easily the two most important people in my life. And they've never really gotten along with each other. I suppose both of them resent the other's intrusions into what they considered their domain. After I was gone, they maintained an uneasy truce. My book stayed in print, still selling, the licensing machine churned away. She was my wife and controlled the intellectual property. He was my agent and took care of the business. I wish they found more common ground than that.
Muy bien. Aunque tenga la llave, no abre todas, no. Solo abre las que tiene que abrir. Y aquí era donde estaba el tipo muerto, creo recordar, ¿no? ¿Verdad? 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 Ahí está tirado. Estoy mirando a ver si había algo más. Pues nada. Con esto nos marchamos.
It's said that nobody knows what the future might bring, but for this man, it's no longer entirely true. A weaker man might simply give up, but the champion of light is an expert on destiny. Sometimes the puppet and puppeteer can be one and the same.
Pues otra vez al observatorio, ¿no? O sea, se van a repetir los mismos escenarios. O sea, el autocine ya damos por sentado que volveremos también. Es verdad que ha sido muy rápido esta vez aquí en el motel, pero eso denota una falta de capacidad.
Tonight, the champion of light will depend on them to pick out a message from the ether.
Pues nada, vayamos.
As history repeats itself, the man remembers the patterns. He knows that he needs the missing part for the telescope.
Oh, praise be. You guys are coming through for me. A pretty little light just started flicking on my board here, and this means there's a caller. Feels like I'm stuck in a rut and just someone actually reaching out to me.
Joder, macho.
I just want you to know that it really matters to me. Caller, you're on the air. Did you know that this is my dream job? True fact.
No recuerdo si esto es lo mismo que ya dijeron en la radio la otra vez que venimos para acá. Bueno, me chupa un huevo. Me voy directamente para coger la pieza. Anda, ¿y este manuscrito?
There are places where our world is worn thin, and another reality brushes against ours. One such site is Cauldron Lake near Bright Falls, Washington. But there are others. That other reality is dark, vast, and malleable, always in flux. In its depths dwell vast forces and alien energies. They're dangerous. But in one of these places, if you know how...
Sí, en ese lago era donde realmente ocurría todo. Venga, vamos. Ahí está ya el aparato. ¡Ojo! Otra hojita. Esta no estaba en la otra vez, ¿verdad?
The darkness rose from the depths of Cauldron Lake and took Alice. It needed words. It needed me to write its way into our world. She was leverage, a hostage. I complied, but with a twist. I put in a loophole that gave me a chance to fight back. I was hunted by shadowy enemies, but I faced the darkness. I fought it with light. I drove it back. I saved Alice, but it came with a cost.
Ok. O sea, ha dicho justo el final del juego, ¿eh? Bueno, pues ahora volver al telescopio. Hala, ahora vuelves. A ver, ¿puedo abrir esto o no? ¡Ole! Ah, estos son el enemigo este. Paso, que venga siquiera por mí. Vamos a intentar... Ahora. Ah, no. Pensaba que se había pirado, ojo. Pues nada, muerto, matado. Y tan ricamente. Anda, mira. A ver. No, coño, que quiero coger la hoja.
Stories come naturally to us. We can't help it. There are many different worlds, many competing realities within our heads, fueled by books, television, even barely remembered childhood tales. There's an endless supply of fictional concepts more familiar to us than anything or anyone real. We have a far greater connection to the fictional characters we know and love than the random people we pass on the street.
Sí, claro, eso... Pues eso pasa. Hostia. Pues mira qué bien.
I know what you're thinking. Evil twin, supernatural powers. But most of the time, I just like to keep things basic. I want you to understand that. Like this. Need to get your hands dirty? No batteries, no moving parts, just physics. That's technology you can depend on. It's a classic.
Eso no lo habíamos visto,
Speaking
¿verdad?
of classics, you need to be careful with this one, though. If the victim suddenly twists, you might end up cutting yourself. It's not
No sé cómo mierdas hacer zoom con el rifle francotirador.
Now this is more like it. You've got slip-resistant grip. Believe me, you really want that traction once you're wrist deep in somebody. The blade's stiff enough so it won't open by accident in your pocket, but it's still really easy to open with just one hand. Now that's a big thing for me. I know what you're thinking. It's too big, too heavy. But sometimes you just need the extra oomph. If you're talking intimidation, this is gonna do the job. Also great for dismemberings and whatnot. You know, the messy jobs.
Ah, bueno, menudas lecciones nos están dando, ¿no? De armas.
I can't tell you how many things I've MacGyvered with this stuff. Okay, now guns. Not a big fan. I mean, how are you supposed to really connect with somebody with a bullet? I want you to understand that. I take pride in what I do. We can't both be worthless hacks, can we?
Se le va a coger cariño al señor Chirridos al final, ¿eh?
You'll have to forgive me, but this feels very strange. It seems like this has all happened before.
I have the replacement part for your telescope, Doctor.
All right. Let's get it installed.
A ver que he visto por aquí abajo algo. Vale. Ah, no, que tengo que enganchar esto directamente, ¿no?
I think we can give this a go, although I have this strange feeling that something will
Don't
go
start
wrong.
it up yet. There's a problem with the coolant system.
Yes, that's right. I remember. All right, let me think. If they're sabotaging it, they'll be at the primary coolant pipe outside. If you can secure it, we should be ready to pick up the signal. That is why you're here, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I'll take care of it.
Before you go, if you have the time, I'd appreciate if you came up here and explained a few things. All of this is very strange to me.
Que quiere que suba a hablar con la señorita. Pues bueno, vamos. Que no sea por nosotros, que no le expliquemos las cosas. Yo pensaba que íbamos a ir a tiro hecho. Pero bueno. Yo creo que antes de acabar el gameplay estamos en el motel y quién sabe si lo mismo, digo en el motel, en el cine y quién sabe
I don't quite know
si
what's
no
going
incluso en
on,
el
but I seem to remember
motel de
having
nuevo.
had this encounter before.
It's not deja vu, Doctor. This has happened before. We're caught in a time loop.
That's utterly insane. How could that be?
I can't really explain it. I suppose I could call it magic.
I don't believe in magic.
Neither do I. But I can't argue with what I've experienced. Listen, what matters now is the signal. The last time we only caught a part of it. I need the rest of it. Whether you believe me or not, you want to look into this as much as I do, right?
Yes. All right.
I realize that you have trouble believing this.
That's an understatement. I can't deny that what you say resonates with me on some level I don't pretend to understand. But for all I know, I'm simply delusional.
But it's not just you. I've experienced the same thing as you. Doesn't that prove something, at least?
Maybe. On the other hand, given your appearance and the fact that you're trying to convince me that I'm not insane, perhaps you're merely a hallucination that accompanies my delusions.
You're not having a psychotic episode, Doctor. For what it's worth, I'm a skeptic by nature. I completely understand your reluctance to believe me.
There are people caught so deep in their psychosis that they retroactively manufacture memories and beliefs that conform to the situation at hand.
Sure, but you have to stop second-guessing yourself at some point, if you want to get something done.
Bueno, no hay por aquí hojas, ¿no? Vale, vale, pues ya hemos hablado con la doctora. Vamos a proteger las tuberías. Venga. Luego tendremos que volver aquí. No sé, tío, si volvemos a hacer esto por tercera vez, espero que no nos lo hagan repetir, ¿no? Sería muy, 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 muy guarro. Ya os digo que esto de repetir escenarios, por ejemplo, lo hacía Silent Hill The Room y me parece una falta enorme de capacidad, ¿eh? De capacidad de gestión del propio juego, de crear contenido y demás. Que a lo mejor no les queda más remedio por problemas de calendario, cosas así. Hala, ya está. Venga, mataos. ¡Epa!
These beams hate the light, am I correct?
You hear me?
Secure the area that way. All right. I'll start looking for the signal. Please, head back.
¿Qué está pasando? Pero está cogiendo un coche con luz. No debería de poder cogerlo, ¿no?
I guess they didn't like that.
No sé. Bueno. Por aquí había un de munición. Ahí. Así que vamos a rellenar. ¡Ole!
When Dr. Rachel Meadows got the call from Michael, telling her to hurry to the observatory, she didn't waste any time. It had been a nice party. She'd had a good time, but her social life would always play second fiddle to the mysteries of space. Michael never showed up, of course. He pulled over at the wrong rest stop. She never even thought about him at the time. The atmosphere in the projection booth. The atmosphere in the projection booth at the drive-in was charged, almost unreal. Despite that, the air felt cool and refreshing this day.
Vale, no sé cómo aparecía con un interrogante. me haya generado dudas. No sé a qué ha venido lo del coche.
Damn mountain's trying to kill me.
Hostia. Quiero mirar una cosa por aquí, porque antes había visto como un reflejo por aquí. Ah, vale, habría sido, era todo esto, ¿no? Y esto igual, munición, ¿no? Pero munición que no necesito en realidad. Hostia, cabrón. Me ha matado, tío. Esto era algo que no me esperaría, pero vamos, ni de coña.
I guess they didn't like that.
Vamos a volver. Mira, ahí. Y el perguel este, tal. Bueno. Vamos a dejar de hacer el tonto. Y punto. Que a mí es que no me gusta nada repetir las cosas. Ahora la montaña se le empieza a caer.
Damn mountain's trying to kill me.
Vale. Ahora el coche. Y ahora, bueno, pues pasando un huevo. Que sí, que me lances lo que te salga de las pelotas. Anda la hostia. Nada, que tengo... Que tengo que cargármelo, ¿no? Joder, y eso que he intentado esquivarlo. A ver. Ah, vale, tengo que ir por aquí, leches. Están rompiendo las luces para que no me cure, ¿no? No problema, chavales. ¡Anda! ¡Hala! Coño, quería coger la hojita y no me dejaban.
The Taken may well be the tool the darkness favors over any other. At some point, they used to be human, but whatever humanity they once had is long gone. Now they're just shells covered and filled by darkness. The Taken Mr. throws at me are more grotesque and varied than the ones I first encountered in Bright Falls. But I know how to deal with them. I'd be lying if I said they don't frighten me.
Vale. ¿Me ha salido ahora este, macho? A ver, ¿puedo abrir este? ¿O no tengo suficientes manuscritos? Que sí, hombre, que sí, que me voy para adentro, que os jodan. Hala, hasta luego. Si es que además no es necesario ni matarles, ¿sabes?
It's working. Please, come up here.
A ver... ¿No me va a decir que baje abajo a matar a más cabrones? ¿Damos ya por finalizada esta zona o qué?
Find a signal?
Yes, I don't think it's quite the same thing we had the last time. Still, we're definitely picking it up.
Are we getting the complete signal now?
I'm afraid not. Take a look at it yourself. I'm printing out a hard copy now. I'd like to ask you a question or two before that, though, if you don't mind.
What's on your mind, Doctor?
Most people would find these events extremely disturbing, provided that they survive these creatures, that is. You seem to be quite adept at dealing with the situation. Why is that?
Yes, I was involved in... It's a complex story. I was in this small town, and a horrible thing from another dimension kidnapped my wife and manipulated me into writing this horror story that came true. I learned to fight it with light, and I managed to contain it and free my wife. But I was trapped in its world.
Are you serious?
Absolutely. So, I'm used to reality working in strange or even impossible ways. And I fought these things, not exactly like this, but close enough for a good while now. Of course, I have certain advantages. Was there anything else?
What did you mean when you said you have advantages?
At the risk of sounding like a lunatic, reality is much more fluid than people think. It can be influenced.
I didn't take you for a mystic.
I'm not. I'm a writer. And under certain conditions, I can, for lack of a better word, rewrite reality. Change things.
That's absurd.
But it works.
Assuming I believe this, why don't you simply, I don't know, write yourself some superpowers?
It's not quite that simple. You need to follow certain laws of drama, I suppose. You need to think about consistency and symbolism. Often what you write isn't anywhere near as important as what you imply. There are things out there that will take advantage of your mistakes.
You really believe in this?
Don't look at me like that. You've experienced some of this yourself.
I will gladly admit that something exceedingly strange is going on. But this idea that you're somehow altering reality with your writing is ridiculous. You're essentially saying you're controlling my actions. Leaving aside the rational arguments against this, what gives you the right?
Well, it's more like having a destiny. A path you're on. You're not aware of it, but there it is. If somebody changes it, what difference does it make? It's what every writer does. If you write something that affects one of the characters, they don't really know about that.
I'm not a character. Are you saying that it's all right to take advantage
Por lo
of
mismo sí que son
something
personajes de la historia que está escribiendo el pavo este.
You're genuinely making all your own decisions, and those decisions lead to whatever destiny you have. What practical difference does it make?
I suppose that depends on whether our destinies are determined by things like physics and probabilities, or natural reality, which is presumably neutral and impartial, or by some kind of an intelligence. If it's the latter, that intelligence makes choices based on some criteria. If we suffer as a result of those choices, there's a moral and ethical element involved, regardless of whether we're aware of its manipulations. Wouldn't you agree?
You're taking this very well. I thought you'd be hangry.
I suppose I would be if I thought you could actually do this.
No, se acabó. ¿Dónde está para coger los putos papeles? Ahí.
Another printout. Another signal fragment. The message is still not complete, but it's another piece of the weapon he has built against his adversary. Mere words on a piece of paper, but in the right hands, they will hold back the darkness.
Hola, para el autocine. Hombre, ha ido obviamente mucho más rápido que la primera vez que estuvimos en estos sitios, ¿no?
The last time the man came to the drive-in, it did not end well. He hopes to avoid that fate this time.
No va a ser suficiente porque han
He
dicho que no
hopes that
tenía
what he
todo
has
completo.
brought with him to this place is enough.
Así que tocará joderse y aguantarse.
Serena's probably out of her mind again, but I'm gonna need that key so I can get the power back on.
Otro manuscrito.
To change the world, you must craft a blueprint for the new reality. Any work of art will do, as long as it's a genuine act of creation. That's what the energies of the dark place respond to. The results may be subtle and perplexing, or far-ranging and momentous. My area of expertise, the written word, gives much more precise results than music or interpretive dance would, for instance. But words can be extremely dangerous. What you define may become reality, but so can that which you imply, even if you don't realize you're doing so.
Vale.
You again?
Really just here to get the keys so I can get the power back on.
You want to hold me down? It's okay. I knew you like that.
Yeah, I'll just grab the keys.
I could be like your wife, little wifey, waiting at home for hubby. Or you could be the mailman, or the neighbor.
I'm already married to someone who isn't crazy, thanks. I'm just gonna go and get the power back on.
Aww.
Look, I may or may not be back. I have the access code to the booth already, so once the power is on...
You should totally come see me. We could have fun. You know.
We'll see how it goes. You should sit down or something. Try to stay calm.
I don't want to be calm. I want to be nasty. I want to be nasty with you.
Yeah. Okay.
You could do anything you want. You can use my...
Let's not even go there. I was hoping that you'd remember more, but I guess that was too much to ask.
Pues nada. Las putas llaves. ¿Dónde están? Bueno.
I was about to do the weather, but I see we have a caller. Hey, you're on the air with Eddie. What's up?
Hey, Eddie, it's Ricky. You talked about fate before. You think about that a lot?
Not a lot, to be honest, but I take it you do.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Any conclusions you'd care to share, Ricky?
Well,
Yo creo que son diálogos nuevos, ¿eh?
right? That's in the Bible and everything.
Yeah, all right, sure.
So free will, right? Am I right? I mean, if we can do what we want, how can there be fate? I mean, you don't know what's going to happen next. So there's no fate. There's just people doing stuff.
Well, I don't know, Ricky. I don't suppose you have considered the possibility that we're all here in service of a greater purpose, incomprehensible to us. And
Uy, la voz, ¿no?
Fate to be freedom is nothing more than the move of a pawn on some cosmic chessboard, limited in scope, subject to the whims of unseen players,
existing only for their entertainment,
or perhaps we're just a twisted
reflection
of actual events that can happen elsewhere. Could it be that such is life in Night
Springs.
Dude, what?
Food for thought, Ricky. Food for thought.
Un tanto siniestro, ¿verdad? Bueno. Hola, pues vayamos a restablecer la electricidad en la mierda de la... La mierda esta. A ver. ¿Podemos abrirlo o no? Vale, no tenemos suficientes manuscritos. No problem. Coñe. Onda. Vamos, Matt, que te quiero matar y quiero ver la tele. Ya está muerto. Esto es nuevo también, claro.
I want to talk about Alice. Just look at her. She's really beautiful, isn't she? Your wife. Well, our wife, really. Just my wife soon. Don't worry. I'm not gonna treat her like the others. She's special. If I wanted her dead, she would be. I've been around for a while now. So talented. You haven't seen her new work, of course. Oh, it takes my breath away. Really, she's that good. Did you know that I've got a wedding ring, too? We're that similar. She's seen me a couple times, you know. I've let her catch glimpses. She thinks she's imagining things, of course. She thinks you're dead. It might as well be. I mean, even if you manage to keep surviving, you'll be in my trap forever. So I'll go to her. It'll be an amazing moment. Oh my God, you're alive. I'll be the good, loving husband for as long as I can stand it. She'll love it. And then, one day, somehow, it'll happen. Maybe I'll slip up, she spots something, or maybe she just starts running her mouth. And then, I'll do it. It's gonna be sweet. My darling wife.
Ay, psico-killer total, ¿eh? Bueno. Pues continuemos hacia la zona de la puta electricidad. Que la verdad no me gustaba mucho ese escenario.
Like a little hamster in a wheel. Go ahead and keep running for all the good it'll do you.
Coño, si es que quería ver esto. Tomad, hijos de perra, porque me estáis haciendo polvo. No, 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 no. Estaba intentando esquivarlo, tío, pero no lo conseguía, su puta madre. Menos mal que el punto de control estaba aquí al lado, pero aún así me cabrea, ¿eh? Aún así me cabrea.
Like a little hamster in a wheel. Go ahead and keep running for all the good it'll do you.
Tío, estoy dando a esquivar. Coño, cabrones. Tíos, cabrones. Que se me ha quedado atrapado ahí el hijo de puta. Macho, la que he tenido que liar para poder cambiar de arma. Aquí por aquí. A punto de control alcanzado. Pues lo vamos a dejar aquí, chicos, porque no llevo muy bien el tiempo mirado, pero creo que llevamos los 45 minutos de rigor. Así que espero que os haya resultado interesante. Coño, su puta madre. Y nos vemos en la próxima, amigos. A ver, espera. Ah, coño, era esto lo que quería. Suscríbete. Chao.